go.
Really?
We are live.
Whoa.
Well, it doesn't want to do it now. Oh, yeah, it does. I lied.
We're setting it up over here,
What up?
guys. We're setting this up.
What up, chat?
We're going, guys. Switching the days. Here we go. A lot to get done. A lot to get done, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's good, though? I'll tell you what's good. It's good to get a good workout in after you fly back. If you have even jet lag and you're tired, time change. Take advantage of the time change. But just getting up and just going. At no point this morning did I want to go to the gym. Got up, did everything, but I was still all the way to the drive. I was like, ugh. Got to the gym. Good energy workout.
So if you woke up not wanting to go, why'd you go?
That's what we do, right? Imagine
Simple
everybody
as that,
coming-
right?
Yeah, it really is. Every single human out
That's
there.
the point.
The difference is you think, or they, not you, they think that workout is a choice where the job isn't a choice. So everybody wakes up, doesn't want to go to their job, goes to their job. Right? That's not even, you don't debate it. It's most things aren't debatable. Shouldn't be. So got up, I had to get that workout in and do it, regardless of how I felt. And I'm glad I did. Just it's always so much better afterwards. Hey baby, do 2 heaping scoops protein. Let me just down it. Jeffrey, what do we have? Please, chocolate. No, go the thick.
Yeah.
Get that rise. I like the thickness of the rise instead of the watery.
Advice for a lifter, 55 years of age, in keeping the joints healthy while pushing the boundaries of strength and size.
Okay, so that's power bodybuilding. That's the program you're going to need to get on today. Jeffrey, will you throw up the link right there? So a 52-year-old just left here. Now I'm going to give a comparison to this 52-year-old that just left and a dear friend of mine that is 53. I'm training about 7 days a week, sometimes 2 a days. So again, his understanding is that he has to train the other guy, where this 52-year-old just does power bodybuilding. So he gets a good amount of rest while still lifting very, very heavy and setting some great numbers. Now, so the 52-year-old just left. He just did about, he did a 4.5 squat, came down to 3.5 and belted out a 10. Now, the reason why that's impressive is he's a working man, agent. What is it? I guess about 60 hours, 70 hours a week. So, works. Only has enough time to get those power bodybuilding workouts in. And we focus on stress because of age. 70 to 80% fatigue ratio. Not destroyed. I don't need him leaving destroyed. He's got to go back to work. But I need him worked enough to where the joints and ligaments were stressed so they're stronger without too much volume down the road so he can continue to do this. And that's what your focus needs to be. You're 55. You should have asked that 10 years ago. So that's I'm going to tell you all this right now. Yes, you can be better at 55. But for you guys that are 30 and 25 thinking, I don't need to worry about that, you're coming up too late. By the time you're 35 and you're still going this, there's going to be a delayed reaction. Think about all the guys that we grew up to and are just like, wow, these guys were amazing superheroes visually. And by the time they hit in their 40s, Their bodies are destroyed. And it's not what they did when they were 40 and destroyed. It's what they did 10, 20 years before that. You got to start grabbing onto this little basic stuff that's very easy to understand. You're not damaged in your 50s because what you did right then. It's the overtraining you did for years, 10 to 20 years before that. And you just compound it over time. Salute.
2 scoops, bunch of water. I don't have time to get my meals in.
Done. So get on power bodybuilding. That way,
Drank that in one shot, right?
yeah, that makes sure your rep range is right. The weights that you're using is percentage of what I want you to do. And that all calculates out for you. So you don't have to stress about it. You understand it. I'll put it out there for you. Program's complete. You'll know what to do. Oh, look at this sexy. What is up, my Playboy friend?
How you doing, brother? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Is that quality because of me?
Huh?
I think it's kicking in.
There, kicked in.
Yeah.
There. I got Johnny in 4K. Is that what they call?
About to be 8K soon.
Oh, sheesh.
I seen the new iPhones, man. iPhone 17 is gonna have an 8K camera. 8K. It's at 4K right now. Imagine the quality you're gonna get from your camera next year. Oh, now that's a 4K. That's a good one. It's definitely a good one. POV of Mike O'Hearn coming at you live.
You should have saw what I was filming this weekend in Mexico.
How did that go?
We'll save that for the after hours special.
Yeah. I want to hear stories. Which donkey show did you guys go to? Come on.
Yeah. Oh, I started Friday night out with that. Oh my God. I was in the heart of Mexico City. Yeah, it was man, they're kind
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I mean, all expos are all expos people are usually very kind.
Yeah.
But just the culture, Mexico, man, props. Good, kind people.
That's awesome.
I had
That's
about
awesome.
15 or 20 dinner, come to our house for dinner invites.
Oh, really? I'm sure.
Like I could have came back at 300 pounds easy.
Yeah, they definitely like to eat. They definitely like to cook down there for sure.
Just really kind people. It was a great experience, fun stuff. We gave a workshop lecture on people down there to help them become personal trainers. So that was nice, just passing on that information to help them be better trainers, understand the body better, how to train somebody, but also at the same time, and you'll get this. And I think this is the biggest problem with people calling Titan Medical. You as a trainer or as what you do for a living,
Mhm.
John, this is you personally, you want them to be healthy,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
You can't want it more than them.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Right.
It's like, as a
True.
trainer, you go, why'd you mess up on the diet? Why are you always messing up? Why are you skipping the workouts? Why are you doing? Don't you want to be what I can see you can be?
Right.
So how do you deal with that? You have a company that helps people in life tenfold, better than a personal trainer.
For sure.
So when you talk to somebody and they go, yeah, I don't need to do my blood work. I'm good. What goes through you?
I always put it back in their court. I'm like, listen, man, I'm like, this really isn't to help me. This is really to help you. So, I mean, if you're feeling some of these different ways or going through some of these different things, I wouldn't ignore the signs, right? Or the symptoms per se, and not look at, what options you have on the table. That would be just dumb. Like, just to be like, I don't care. I don't want to do any of this. I don't think I need any of this. I'm fine. I'll be fine. And it just is what it is. Like, well, first off, blood work, I mean, you don't have to do anything with it, right? You can just get the blood work and see, hey, listen, what's going on here? Like, let me just do a checkup on myself. And this is just something that you should want to do just to see, hey, listen, am I okay? Am I good to go in all these different ways? And then if you're not, like, and if you are, like, like I said, going through some of these problems, and why degrade yourself and the quality of life that you'll have instead of maybe wanting to improve it? Now,
Ooh, say please, for Jeffrey here too. Will you say that again?
yeah. So, I mean, why would you want to degrade your life and not improve the quality of life that you're living right today? Like, what makes you want to do this? And most people, if you ask them, hey, do I want to improve? Do I want to improve my quality of life? Absolutely. What do I have to do? And then you tell them, and you're like, nah, that's not for me. And then you're like, well, what do you want here, right? Because you have the option, and if you don't want to take up the option, then this is you saying to me, not verbally, but by action, that you don't want it. Because action speaks louder than words. Somebody could tell you something 1,000,000 times. Their action is totally different. You get the hint. You understand, and it's communicated. So, I mean, for people like that, usually people that are coming to us, they want some sort of help, right? So majority of people, I would say, like, they'll take what we give them and they'll start utilizing. Some won't utilize everything. They might not change everything, but they'll start changing a little bit. And then when they start seeing progress, I think that's what motivates people more to want to do better, or they want to make more of a change, right? If you want a transformation and you go and you start doing something and you start seeing change, you might be more inept to be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna stick on this bus and keep going. But then you got some people that start seeing a little bit of progress and they're like, oh, I don't have to work as hard now. I don't have to do anything else. I'm good. Like, so where do you really stand? Like I said, actions speaks louder than words. If you want it, and you have the tools to get it, then you have no excuse but yourself.
So, flying back from Mexico, there's 16 people up there with us, up in first class, and I don't know how it started, but we're all talking. The whole first class was talking and just talking about the trips that everybody just came on, and we're flying from Mexico City back to LA. Yeah. And it was a lot of production.
It says we.
Yeah.
That means
Hi,
we.
Mona.
So we were there and we all got to talking and everything. And it was an age thing. Somebody said something and they were all trying to figure out ages and stuff. And after the age and everything came out, me and her were the old folks up there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they were all going to call you on Monday, I guess it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like, what are you guys thinking?
yeah, it's like, what's going on? I don't get this. And I said, well, first step is, get you guys' blood work.
Yes.
Because they were all visually shocked and not happy with how they looked relative.
I'm sure.
And so I was like, it was a good moment just for them. It was a good moment. It was a very nice individuals, but they were all like Hollywood people.
Yes.
And they're like, wow, we are working so much that life is passing us by.
Yep.
And we're not taking care of our health. And so thank you for coming in
Yeah.
here for that.
Yeah. You guys look great. I mean, you guys are a great representation of what people, you're a great example of what people can be, right? It is, right? That's what we want to be. We want to be the example of what people can be. And at that point, healthy, we look good, we're living life to the fullest is what we want to. I mean, I think a lot of people do. They forget, taking care of themselves. And they're the last, some people are last to take care of themselves. Everything else comes before them. There's some people it's the direct opposite. They'll take care of themselves before everybody else. Those people are selfish in my mind. I'm all about, taking care of myself, yes, but taking care of my loved ones and everybody I need to afterwards for sure. You gotta be able to take care of yourself to the point where you make sure you're good, because if you're not good, then you can't take care of everybody else.
I think that was where we kind of went with this, because one of the biggest things with these people, thank you. I'll get this. I know you're working on stuff. The biggest thing I noticed was their energy and what they were talking about. And they were like, you know, and I think that's how it kind of came out because they're like, you guys are in good shape.
Yep.
My husband and I got tired for walking from the hotel down to here, and like, well, you know, I get that you're collecting money and you're setting
Right.
yourselves up. Great, that's
Right.
always a plus. Good for
Of
you.
course.
But at the same time, this is our one go around, folks. And for somebody to say to you, what do I need to do? I'm excited.
Right.
I'm excited right now in the moment.
Yep.
How can I take care of myself? All right. I need 20, 25 minutes of your day to just drive over here, get your blood work
Right.
done, and we'll get everything set up, find out what
Right.
we need to do,
Right.
if we need to do something, or if we can help you.
Right.
No, that's too much. That's too much.
I know. You ask, yeah, like you're going to climb Mount Rushmore. Like, you know, that's what you're asking. It's like, guys, it's like, it's super simple to do. It's super easy to do. You know, I mean, you're talking about, like you said, 25 minutes out of your day, maybe to drive the lab or come to Titan if you're in the area. But I mean, it's super simple to do. Everything else can be pretty much coordinated over the phone or some sort of device where you have internet. You can do your visit. You can do your new patient paperwork. You can direct them to ship directly to your house or your office, wherever. I mean, it doesn't get more convenient than this. I don't know what I really don't know how much.
It doesn't get more precise.
It doesn't.
You know what I mean? It's like
It doesn't.
I had people messaging me today. Hey, I was told I shouldn't eat plants, and I'm like, okay, so there you go. Give up vegetables now. That's going to be the trick. You're going to be fine now.
Right.
Eat vegetables. That's the trick that you're not going to do. It's like, what are you guys looking for?
Yeah. I mean,
We're-
it's super simple. Super
Yeah,
simple.
It's an interesting thought, and I'm just sitting there going. And Jeff said it. Jeff said it to me. I woke up, and at no point till I was at the gym did I want to go to the gym.
Right.
You know, got up. I was tired. Got leg from yesterday. Get the meals. Got up. Did my protocol. So that means I did my AOD.
Yep.
Shot Tesmamorelin. Made sure to do that. Then give myself a half an hour before I had my meal.
Yep.
And so then my Hercules potion. You know, so I do my protocol, did all this. Still, I'm tired. I'm done. But of course, I'm going. And Jeff said, well, why didn't you just not go? And I'm like, well, life doesn't work that way.
Yeah. That's not up your alley. I know you got to go for
Well,
sure.
it's nobody's alley. If somebody's asking me that, it's like everybody gets up and maybe doesn't want to go to the job, but they still go.
Of course.
That's how I approach the gym.
Of
In
course.
my health. We just do it.
Absolutely. It's trained. We're wired like that. That just is what it is. Some people use excuses. Use any excuse in the book not to go.
What do you got there? What you got there?
Got some goodies.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. This was unplanned, but I just did some videos on these. So I'm gonna pull them out of the box. We're gonna play mystery box today.
All right. That's
So,
fun.
We got
Jeff's
4
smiling
boxes.
over here.
I think at least 3 of these you've heard of. 2 of these maybe you have not heard of, but we can talk about them a little bit.
Love it.
Let's see what's in this one. Okay, so this is the newer one. SLU PP332. Sloop 332. And I know it's because it's in the green screen and this bottle's green, so it looks invisible.
That looks
but-
really Spider-Man-ish, doesn't it?
I can't even do it with my hand behind it. So Sloop 332, right? This is an ERRA. So an estrogen
writing this down.
receptor antagonist. What is this good for? Right. So I'm like, all right, so what's the big stuff about this? So it's an oral form. Comes with a little capsule. What does this bad boy do? So the research suggests that this improves mitochondria activity and it mimics workout in your metabolism. So this is like really good. Thermogenesis, like glucose management, and this pill is very small, very small. So I'm gonna start taking this and see what's up. So this
So
is supposed to
your
be,
double workout.
huh?
It's like a double workout.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically your metabolism is tricked to think of as exercise rate. Super
Jeff
cool.
had a question
Thermogenesis,
for you.
just sitting there.
Doesn't Mott C do something similar to like
Does.
the
Yes,
workout? How
it
is that a little
does.
different?
Does. You know what's different between this and Motsi? This actually gets rid of inflammation in the body too, as well. Cytokines. They had research on the virus with this, so there was some different differences. The other thing is this is actually more inexpensive than Motsi, and it's an oral form. So at that point, nobody has to do injections. They're paying a lot less, and hopefully they're getting a better benefit. So I'm going to try it. Obviously, got some patients on it, been getting some good results on it, but I got to be the determining factor on that. I got to say, listen, I believe in this. Let me take this and let me see if I see a result in it. So I did a video, just a sneak peek on it earlier today, but I want to bring it out because this is definitely something we're going to probably be introducing to the regiments very, very soon.
Who would benefit from this?
Anybody. Anybody. I mean, anybody that wants to thermogenesis effect, that wants to burn fat, this is going to be it. Plus boost the metabolism like that. I mean, dude, that's kind of what we want to do here. I mean, these medications are getting so advanced. I was talking to the guys about it today that you're going to start being able to build muscle and lose weight at the exact same time through a drug. Like they've already worked on myostatin inhibitors and stuff like that, where they've been talking about this. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a game changer. So Sloop 332.
Next up.
Let's see, we got box number 2. Tesofenzine. So tesofenzine you have heard of. Tesofenzine is a triple rebuke inhibitor. So at this point, this is great for cravings. So if you have cravings, appetite suppression, this is a good one. Also raises mood, so makes you happier, right?
Wait a minute, hold on. So
yeah,
so every bodybuilder in the world now, you can't
Can I
be.
have 6 of those, please? It's for Mike.
another oral though. Like this is good too because it hits like different like receptors in the brain, and it hits different chemicals like dopamine. So which increase motivation, mood. I mean, it's a reward factor here. So really, really cool. That's already out for patients. Patients use this with like GLP-1s, testosterone. These are really, really good to pair it up with. Testosterone or GLP-1s. These are really, really good.
Before we move on to the next one, real quick, I'm just curious on the last one.
Tesofenzine?
Yeah. It's going to take care of maybe that craving, I guess you would say, right?
Yep.
And so how would you would need to be on a program in the sense of nutrition, like I have my 5 meals.
Yep.
And stay on that.
Yes.
Because we don't want them not to stay on the diet.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
This is to curb like you're getting cravings in between, or when you're going on that weight loss journey and
always
you got to lose weight and you got to go into a deficit and you can't go into a deficit. This is paired up with that. So
wow.
You'll get some people, and like with testosterone, this is a really good one because, you know, obviously when we're going to a deficit, you know, like we're going to lose weight. We don't want to lose muscle. We want to try to retain as much muscle as possible. So pairing with a GHRH is a great combination to do because it will help retain that muscle. So at that point, that's a really, really good one. So testosterone and this is pretty good. Or
you guys at home, I don't know if you guys at home, this is how when I diet, more irritable. I got less calories. I'm tired from the training and being in a deficit. I'm not getting that recovery.
Yeah.
Cravings, tons.
Yeah.
And mostly at night, I have cravings. Yeah. Now, I've only been able to do what I do because there's a difference between my cravings and my goals. I'm not going to, but man, you could say, hey, eliminate the cravings. That's just second fold. That's huge.
Yeah. plus mood enhancement. I mean, that's another big
Yeah,
one.
and
You know,
take care of that mood that when you're hungry.
seriously. And I mean, the other thing about it is a sloop that 332, like that will help with more energy expenditure. So you'll actually have more energy with that too. So that's going to be a good one. That's definitely going to be a good one. Then we have the third one here, Macamorelin. So this is another oral GHRH, just like MK, but we're going to see if it stimulates the hunger portion. Now, if it doesn't, that would give some people an option that, one, doesn't like needles, and then two, they don't really have a disciplined diet where they could take MK and be let loose, because at that point they're going to eat down the house. If this doesn't stimulate it like that, then at that point this could be an option for those people out there that want an oral, and at that point will still stimulate growth hormone naturally. So
Can you explain just that statement you just made before that? Because what MK does for the hunger level and letting them off. Because I know that you and I understand that, but I don't think they know that really in depth.
So when you take MK677, that's an oral GHRH peptide, growth hormone releasing hormone peptide. What it does is it stimulates your pituitary to produce your own natural growth hormone. It also stimulates your ghrelin, your hunger hormone. So at that point, like, you become very, very hungry, right? So you have to kind of prepare for this. One, you have your meals ready, you're ready to go, you know, when you take this. You can take it at night right before you go to bed, and hopefully you won't wake up with the cravings if you do have a meal ready. But otherwise, I mean, that's it. So if you're going to take it, you got to be disciplined to the effect where you're going to drink water, you're going to eat the right foods. Because let's say it's just some guy that's unchecked diet, hardly does activity, says, I want to raise my growth hormone level, so I'm going to take MK677. And he starts taking it. And he starts eating McDonald's 4 times a day. He doesn't go to the gym, right? Now he's like, oh, he calls it, you guys got me fat. I gained 15 pounds. Like, did you have any exercise? No, I didn't do it. This is going to raise my growth hormone level. Like, well, listen. This cannot go to somebody like that. And that's where our trained medical staff, right, is going to say, listen, what does your diet look like? How does your activity look like? Because if it doesn't line up, then we don't want to set them up for failure. And we might have something different that they can utilize. Nothing oral, but at this point, we might. So that's where this is going to come into play, and we'll see what this is all about. As far as stimulating IGF-1 levels, that's very important. That's the main thing, right? The main thing is that it works. It stimulates very well, and it does. This was actually an approved FDA drug at one point in time. The company actually went out of business that had this. So I looked it up. I was like, oh wow, you know, because I do the back research on all this. It's not just what the pharmacy sent me over, and then, you know, what it does, mechanism wise, but like, what's the background on this? It has a pharmaceutical company, and most of these different things have came from big pharmaceutical companies doing research or approving these things. So yeah, check it out. Last but not least, I think I said this was like my favorite, and this is my proof. I'll show you. These are my prescriptions. So pendecaarginate, TB500.
Pendedeca, that's my dog.
Wolverine, healing peptides, best there is,
Don't
best there's going to be.
hold on. Don't go into it, because I got to pull this guy into it, because he's bragging about this. This is you, Jeffrey. Let him know.
day.
Let the people know about this.
Pendedeca, I'm telling you, my shoulder was trashed after a bench day. My arms have been trashed just from whatever. Not even joking. 2 days after taking it, I can feel the effects.
That's
Like,
awesome.
Wow. 2 days. It's feeling great. It's feeling good. Now it's been 2 weeks. Gone. Everything's
Wow.
gone. And I'm telling you, this forearm was trash to the point, like, I don't care how many nerve glides, stretches, this
Yeah.
and that I did. It just wasn't going to wait. 2 weeks. Done.
Awesome.
Come on.
Yeah, you can't beat it, guys. This is a staple of my regiment. Every single day, this gets me through. I mean, it's crazy. It is nuts. So, Wolverine package, if you guys want it, very simple and easy to get. Fill out your new patient paperwork. You'll see the provider, and you can order most of these right now. So, the 2 new ones, the Macamrolin. I've got some patience on it right now. I'm going to take it first before we start giving it out to the people out there. But tons of research on it, especially Macamrolin. It was FDA approved before, so it's got the clinical data on it, which is a beautiful thing. The other one, Sloop 332. I've only heard great things from the patients that have taken it so far. And tesofensine, that's been a home run. For patients that are utilizing it for the right reasons, they're getting a lot of great benefits. So, and that's what it's all about. It's not about taking every single one of these. It's about taking what's going to work best for you, right? And what's going to get you to your goal or what's going to help you out the most. There's some things you're going to take and overlap in some things. There's some things you won't. So that's where the personalized regimen comes into play from Titan Medical Center. And that's where providers really shine.
It was Mona was doing all this. She should take over for me on this. But on the conversations we were having on the trip back from Mexico, some of the great conversations was about the nutrition and how everything that you can do with Titan Medical, how it I'm never hungry, I go all day without. It's like, well, this might help you get some regimen, some good regimen with your nutrition coming in. So that was some of the great conversations. But then for everybody, it was the night to recover, really recovering while you sleep. And then something I heard today, which was the first time I'm the first to say it. Amazing that I know that MK may have been or is going to be taken off the shelf. And I'm like, oh, this stuff, I don't know if anybody else has tried that here, but wow, it's pretty crazy. Amazing. The recovery, how I feel, how I can continue to do what I love.
Right.
But the possibility of something else being out there if MK does leave. So this is great. This is great news.
I know. It's awesome news. And like I said, there's a lot more coming down the pipe. Like there's a lot. So, we're just taking it one step at a time. We want to make sure we introduce these things as we go and make sure they're the real deal too. I don't want no hype. I want the real deal. So, that's why I want to make sure I take it. And I'm like, all right, I give my seal of approval, because if I stamp it, that'll be my seal of approval. And that's all I got. So I'll make sure that it's the most honest and transparent approval or review that's going to be of these drugs or medications or therapies, whatever you want to call them.
Man, we got a good crowd today. Jeffrey, do we got some questions that we can feed this man? You guys know that every Tuesday I try to sit down with Big Johnny if he's got time for me, and we kind of go over a little question and answers as well for you guys, so you guys can kind of understand your concerns. This is that time where you should ask any concerns that you have about your health or something that you're feeling that you can get some help.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have the blood work special this week too. So that's one of the other big ones.
Well, Jeffrey's looking for some good questions.
So we always talk about how blood work is so important for you guys. And usually we have the most inexpensive cost anyway in blood work. But this week we have the blood work special. So for our in-depth blood work panels for both males and females, anywhere in the United States, you guys can take advantage of it. The girls is $200, down from $300. We usually charge $225 with a discount. So it's $200. Guys, it's $130, down from $200. If you get a discount, usually it's $150. So you're still saving a good amount of money on both these tests. And we're talking about full in-depth blood tests. So not your normal everyday, go to my primary care doctor, I get a blood cell count ran, I get a comprehensive metabolic plan ran, and at that point, that's it. So if you get these things done, you're going to get all that, which you would regularly get done in your primary care. Plus, you're going to get a lot more as far as hormone-wise, like testosterone free in total, progesterone, estradiol, IGF-1, B12, full thyroid. We talk about that a little bit, T3, T4, TSH. You're going to get a full cholesterol. If you're a guy, you're going to get a prostate rid on you. If you're a girl, you're going to get a couple other tests like total estrogens, DHEA, and there's a lot more tests you can add. But that is the standard full in-depth panels for both of those. And you're getting a lot of bang for the buck, and you're getting a lot of information for yourself. We talked about that earlier. Like, you might not know, or you might not think anything's wrong with you. That's great. But that doesn't mean you don't get a checkup from time to time on some of these different things that you usually don't get a checkup from any other time in your life. Any other time in your life, you go to a primary care doctor, you're never going to get this full in-depth panel ran
Never.
from jump. They're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. I don't care if you go to a gynecologist if you're a girl. They're not going to do it. They barely. I don't know too many gynecologists that run full in-depth hormone panels on female patients. That's crazy. Like, that's like affecting, I don't know, 65 to 70% of women out there, because even women that are in their 30s, some of them have hormone deficiencies or imbalances that are affecting them. Same with guys. So at that point, if you're not looking at this information that you can get, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you could see a lot more than what you're seeing right now. And at that point, be able to make some decisions on how you really want to take care of your health.
I was asking silly doctor questions.
Yeah, I know. Mike wants to become a gynecologist. I said it's
Yeah,
too late.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Thought I was one in my 20s.
Yeah, he said, I think I was one when I was younger. I said, well, you just tell him.
That being said,
Yeah.
Hey,
when real quick before you go into
Yeah.
that, just because I was
Mhm.
thinking when John was saying that,
Oh.
I thought about you start seeing or for me, my
Mhm.
age, it's
Mhm.
like we had to start seeing a doctor for a yearly checkup if you have insurance. But that starts when you're like 45 or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't start much earlier than that. It's interesting.
It
I
is.
don't know if that's
it's
round-
really women. So when we're young, we really don't. Women don't go to the gynecologist when they're like 20 years old unless something is wrong with that. You know,
Right.
they just think
doesn't
everything
start
is wrong.
later.
Yeah, it kind of, once later, if you have an issue and then your doctor says, hey, you're almost 30 years old, you should start seeing a gynecologist every 6 months to a year, blah, blah, blah. And after you have a baby, then you're really committed to it.
Yeah.
But
So just saying.
Usually with gynecologists, usually for females, you're talking about maybe a once a year type thing for a pap.
yeah,
Just to make
yeah.
sure like everything's okay, because the
Yeah.
pap will be able to tell them if there's abnormalities, if they've had any STDs possibly, or even
Mhm.
like cancers, like cervical cancer. So that's
Right.
all done with like the pap. But usually like girls don't even get that done every year. There's a lot of
Right.
girls that don't go every year to go get that done. So, at that point, like, going to some of these doctors, sometimes you don't get the answers you're looking for. They don't even go down the path, right? They don't even bring up some of these things. And to the unsuspecting or uneducated person, this is going totally over their head, and they have no idea this even exists. And there's a lot of people out there that have no idea because they don't have any educational background on it. It's even hard for me. Like when I talk to people, sometimes, like I'm like, oh man, I better start dumbing this down a little bit, because they don't have the knowledge at that point, or even the perspective of how this works. And it's like it's just kind of crazy, like, right? Like there could be very optimal healthcare in our country, especially, and it's just not there. And like every day, like what I'm seeing every day in healthcare, like general offices, or even with the appointments with my parents, my mother-in-law, my dad, Cherise, like it's not there. Like the care is not there. Like
That's
it's
got
just
to be
not.
frustrating.
It's
frustrating.
super frustrating. It really is. And just like, you're like, man, like, and then you really have to think about it, right? So like people are like, oh, like, well, it's a doctor, right? Well, yeah, but they're still practicing. And that's what they practice medicine. It's not something that's guaranteed or they all know the exact same. It's just they're all practicing. So you better find somebody that's got more knowledge and has been practicing a lot longer than usually somebody that's just coming right out of school. I mean, it's tough, man. It really is. You go against the textbook doctor, or the doctor's been doing it for 30 years, totally different perspective on things. Not to say that older doctor can't learn things, maybe newer, but that young doctor needs to learn some of that experience, and that only comes with time and seeing the cases. So it's just crazy. I don't know. It's not there. Like even to see a doctor anymore, you usually don't. Now you're going to see a nurse practitioner or physician assistant, especially any privatized care hospital setting, usually, unless they come in for their rounds and they're there for like 5 minutes to look at your chart and then tell the nurse what they're going to, give you as protocol or medications. Yeah, it's a totally different world, man.
What was your questions, young lady?
Sorry.
No,
Well, because
no. Trust me, I can understand you're in
Yeah.
the mix of something, and so the frustration must be because of the concept. You understand a lot,
Yeah.
so you're not the average person that's going in there, sitting down, listening to what those doctors are saying to you guys. So it's got to be a little.
It is. It is. Sorry, though.
so a lot of people on here, they're not asking they're not asking questions because maybe they feel uncomfortable or it's not coming to their mind. But after they get off this live, they're gonna be like, man, I should have asked this or this or that. Anyway, if I want to order, let's say, I heard you talking about all this, new peptides.
New Christmas stuff.
Yeah. Your miracle box that you got there.
Yes.
Okay. If I want to order any of that product, right, peptides, do I need blood work?
No blood work's needed for any of the peptides, except for IGF-1. That's it. But anything else, all you have to do is fill out the new patient paperwork. So you can get that right on our website, typemedicalcenter.com. You go there, fill it out through your computer, through your phone. You can print it out and send it back if you really want to do it in your old school like that. We get those all the time. And then at that point, once we get that paperwork, so if you fill it out online, it directly comes to us. Our staff reaches out to you. We'll schedule you for your consultation. That's the only thing you need to do to get this.
Okay.
And you'll go on with the provider for 30 minutes, or if it's less time, it really depends on you. If you have more questions or less questions, that can go a lot faster or a lot slower. It just really depends on you. After that, you can order your therapies. They get shipped directly to your house or your office or wherever you want them to ship.
There you go. So you answer my second question. You do have to talk to someone to kind of walk you through what you have to do. So you don't just get your peptides and start like, directing yourself. You get directions, which is great.
Of
Right.
course.
And I suggest for everybody to get blood work because guess what? A couple of my friends that did get blood work through you found out they had some sort of issues without even knowing that they had the issues, even though they went to a regular doctor, but
Right.
they found out through your blood work. But however, if I get the blood work done today, okay, when is my next recommendation to get blood work? Is it 6 months? Is it 3 months?
Sure.
What is that
So
look like?
if you want blood work, you go down blood work, and let's say you're going on hormone replacement therapy. So at that point, you're going to, at a minimum, do blood work every 6 months. Is it optimal maybe get it every 3 months? Absolutely, especially if there's something off, right? And if there is something off, let's say on the initial blood work. So let me just give you an example. We see on the initial blood work that PSA came back at a 4.0, and you're like, I swear nothing's wrong. This has got to be skewed. We'll run another one just to see. And at that point, we'll see what that comes back as. Now, if that comes back high, then we're going to send you to a specialist like urology to see, hey, listen, what's going on. The other example I could give you is let's say you take the blood test and your liver functions are in triple digits, ALT and AST. So those are your liver enzymes. And those are triple digits. Now we'll say this. We'll say, listen, we can't prescribe you testosterone the way they are right now. But what we can do is we're going to put you on a glutathione regimen. And at that point, 2 weeks, we'll have you go on this, take it every day. And then we'll retest your liver functions again in 30 days. When we do that, then we see it trends down. Then we're able to go through and be able to prescribe the testosterone and anything else they want to do. But that's just an example. If there's something off. So another example I would say is this. If they're on hormone replacement therapy, they just start, they're a month and a half in, and they're saying, you know what? I'm really feeling off. I don't feel too good. I feel tired. Girl, I'm breaking out, whatever it is. At that point, we'll say, you know what? Let's send you in for a free and total testosterone and an estradiol test. If it's a female, we'll throw in total estrogen on there too as well. And we'll look at those and see where they come back as. And then we'll see, hey, listen, does this person need more of maybe an estrogen blocker? Does this person need some progesterone? Does this person need testosterone? Or where is this at exactly? But in those tests, we would look at free and total and your estrogens. And at that point, usually we dial that in, and it might be off just a hair. Like I said, some guys maybe need more of a blocker. Some guys maybe need less of a blocker. Females may need more of testosterone. It really just all depends on the person. but that's why we do those tests, and that's why we do interim before like a 3 month or 6 month time span to run a blood test.
Good.
love
Wow.
that.
Yeah, I love all that information. It's so helpful, obviously. And then my last question would be, and this is kind of weird. It's a weird question. So I come to you, and here I am, 390 pounds, Mona. And I go, hey, Johnny, I love to eat. I live to eat. So I don't do nothing. I sit on the couch all day. I am a fat slob. I sweat. I have
I'm
no
right here.
energy.
I'm right sitting next to you. Jeez Louise.
I have no energy and I have no motivation. I don't even know. Yeah, I am completely a lost person. So how do you walk somebody? Like, what do you
Sorry,
give them?
Chris Cormier.
You give them anything? Is it? What do you say to a person like that?
So, and then we'll go through we'll say, all right, well, how old are you? Like obviously, what's your activity level? They're gonna say none. How's your nutrition? It sucks. I'm 390 pounds.
Everything sucks. Yeah.
Look at me, I'm totally out of whack. I'm 40 years old, 35 years old. Like, all right, listen, well, we should probably run a blood test on you first. If you're like, no, I'm not running a blood test, then was like, all right, well, let's try to at least get some of this weight off you then. So don't do the blood test right now. Let's get some weight off you. And then at that point, let's look at that down the road. So we'll put them on a weight loss program. It might be a GLP-1. If they're that heavy, they're going to go on a GLP-1. They're going to go on, whether it's Retta, tirzepatide, Sema, they're going to go on one of those. And at that point, they're going to start losing weight. They are going to start losing weight. I don't care if they still sit there. They're not going to be able to gorge themselves because, one, their digestion is going to slow down. Their appetite hopefully is going to go away. So at that point, they're not going to be able to eat like they were. So they're going to lose weight. The more weight you have on you, the more weight you can lose too on those drugs. So they're going to lose weight pretty quick. And then when they start losing the weight, that might be motivation for them to try to do some other things. And they'll be like, all right, well, what else we got? And they're like, hey, listen, maybe we should really do this blood test. Okay, let's do the blood test. And they start looking at the blood test and we'll start, hey, listen, let's start looking at these things. I really think that if you can kickstart somebody's motivation and start getting them down, they can keep going with that and they get motivated and they want to keep on that path. I think it's just a jump start for a lot of people. A lot of people don't know where to start, who to start with, or you know what? I'm so far gone. It's never going to be, ever. It's never going to happen for me, ever. So, I think that, we can help those people. I think that I think that our country and people in general can get healthier than they've ever been by maybe utilizing some of these tools and creating a healthy lifestyle. I think the healthy lifestyle is going to come back, and that's going to be the cool thing to do very soon. I think the healthy lifestyle is going to be the cool thing to do. And then everybody's going to want to do it because it's a cool thing to do. They're going to be trying to outdo themselves. I drink water. I drink this. It's just going to go down that path. I really think that we're heading that route for sure.
Yeah,
Man, it'd be great to pull that old school 80s back. Yeah, you were a pup, but it was amazing that 80s and
everybody's working out,
the yoga and the
running,
step up
activity.
classes, and the movies and staying alive and the action heroes. Everything was health, muscles, looking like a superhero.
Absolutely.
Everybody was into it. It was such a. I'm thinking back right now just to how the beaches look. How in that time I actually went to beaches. Yes.
I was just gonna say,
I would pop the top and go down to the beach with the boys. But I just remember how everybody was looking sharp and good, and it was a great time and healthy. And the world was healthy. It was just amazing. It was amazing at that time. We still had the McDonald's and stuff like that and fast food. It was there, but people were moving more. They were taking care of themselves. They had a different vision. And today I wish people would this body dysmorphia or accepting that being 100 pounds overweight is fine and that's okay. And it's like, well, no, it's not, because you're hurting yourself inside. And I think it's such a harsh reality that it's the leaders that are saying, no, you're okay. It's like, no, we're having issues. We're getting, people are more sick. It's all these things. We got to stop that.
I think it's going to come. I mean, I really do. Just because people will be able to get thin, they'll be able to lose weight just by taking these drugs. And then you start giving to a mass amount of people, right? Because what's going to happen is these drugs are very expensive still, even on the compounded rate. You know, even for us, it's inexpensive to people that would buy a commercial product, but it's still like $500 or $600 for 2 months. It really isn't that bad in the long run, but those start coming down and getting very, very inexpensive. I say in the next couple of years, because the newer ones are going to replace them, and they're just going to be hyped up and souped up even more. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, hopefully we change and we go back to the 80s. Everything we see nowadays is almost recycled from the 80s. All the movie, there's nothing that's original. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we see, some things are original, but a lot of things are taken from the 80s or early 90s. So at that point, hopefully we do go back to that. Hopefully we go back to a healthy country and a healthy world. And I'll be a happy person. I mean, that's the goal.
It would be fun to see people like being active and going, hey, I do want to try to get better. I do want to try to be healthy. You don't need to be jacked or Mr. Universe walking around or Miss Universe, but
right.
It was the flight home. I just keep going back to it because it was like, it seemed like because we were on that plane, these other couples and stuff were all like, hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let's take care of ourselves and start now, kind of a thing. And let's call Titan Medical. Let's get our blood work done. And let's start, that journey being like John 24/7.
Absolutely. I got it.
Some questions.
Yeah, and working with John, I'll tell you what, man, he's on your shit. He's like, hey, you need to do your blood work. I think you said that last week. You're like, hey, Mo, what are you doing? You need to do your blood work. It's like, you can't forget. You don't let them forget. It's like,
no. We gotta make sure we stand people. That's what people pay us to do. I mean, we're essentially there to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's it. Because people get busy, people do other things.
Yeah.
But essentially that's good. We got to remind you. We got to tell you. We got to make sure you're on it and make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. It also helps the person, right? It's also them benefiting. So that's what we want to do. We want to make sure people are on it.
Well, they got Titan Medical to get the blood work done and help them optimize their bodies to the fullest. And then if you guys are thinking about TRT, that's who you're going to talk to. You're going to talk to them, and they'll be the ones that go, yes, you can do this, or no, you shouldn't do this. And if, again, you want to optimize your health, do it smart, go through them. Do not do it through the guy at the gym. Yeah. All right. Don't talk to the buff guy at the gym or the 25-year-old saying, hey, here's my cycle. Don't listen to them. Call John and his team. Start that. And then if you need help with the diet and nutrition, you guys know you can come to me and the Titan crew. Absolutely. We're going to be doing check-ins this week. And so I ask you, have you done your blood work? That's one of the questions I ask you. Have you done your blood work with Titan Medical? That's the number one question. First one on the board. And I want you guys and girls to get your blood work done so I can understand if your body's functioning right. Because no matter if it's not, let me say this again. If your body is not running right, Johnny says it's great. You could look visually incredible. If it's not running right, that means the calorie intake is going to be off. That means the effort you put trying to be better in the gym could be hurting you, not helping you.
Yep.
Hurting you because you're not recovering. Then you're just pounding your body down over and over and over again.
That's right.
So remember that.
Sure.
We got a question here for you, Big Johnny.
Sure.
You got some time, yes?
Of course.
I know Peter's got a game today, right?
Huh?
Peter's got a game today?
He does. He's starting tonight.
So if you guys don't know, Peter is the 7'6". Okay, he feels like he's 7 foot. His young
7'6".
prepubescent child walking around the mountain has been written up and hit the newspaper. Old school social media.
Yes.
How I grew up.
Yeah.
The last 3 games, he's been killing it. So
yes.
I just, as a proud father, I think that's so awesome.
Yeah, he got another write-up today about like strikeouts in the first batter or something like that. Max Prep, which Max Prep's been around for almost like 40 years. Like that's been like the go-to like for All American and stuff like that. Like it was one of the publications that was doing it. Super cool. Super cool. So, he's been sick the last 2 days. So hopefully, that doesn't mess with him today. So he should be good. All right. Really feel my left shoulder during curls, but my right arm is all bicep. How can I fix this? Really feel my left shoulder. Well, you
Left
shouldn't really
shoulder.
be feeling your shoulders during curls like that. It should be
Well,
all
it's a
bicep,
ligament.
right?
It's the ligaments. No, I say
Yeah.
this all the time. Straight bar curls is a tester for people in healthy shoulders. A lot of people cannot do a straight bar curl because of their shoulders, believe it or not. The tendons, that bicep tendon going up into their shoulder and the pull on it. So this is, at least there's something wrong.
Right.
That's first thing. Second thing is Johnny's already talked about it. Jeffrey earlier in this conversation talked about this. Johnny, knock this out of the park for him.
Yeah. So with this BPC 157 and TB 500 for sure. The other thing I would do is maybe some Hercules potion, try to ignite that area, try to get more blood in that area too as well. Those TB 500 and Penedeca arginate, which is BPC 157, those are your go-to. That's what I would start with for sure. Try to heal everything up, try to get things right, and then BPC 157. Then Hercules potion to try to activate, push more blood in that area, and get it really pumping.
Pendeca? Sounds like a superhero. Just saying. Sounds badass. Give us another one.
What do I do if my EGFR is a 30? Can you help me with that? So this is a tough one. EGFR is a 30. It's very, very low.
Where should it be? And what is it?
EGFR is it's basically your percentage of what your kidney's at. So the higher that number is, the better. The lower that number is, it's not so good.
What's
And
the
so
normal? What's the
what
normal?
should be a good range?
Without being chronic kidney disease, there's 4 stages. Once you hit 90, you're in stage 4. I think it's like below 59, it's stage 3. And then you start getting to stage 2 and then stage 1, which is like renal failure. 30 is pretty low. Okay. My
Okay.
dad's like at 18 right now. So with this, the best thing I could say is find a great nephrologist. You need to find a nephrology. The other thing to look at would be your blood pressure and to be looking at your sugar levels, Faith, because those are directly impacting the kidneys, right? And that's usually what does the damage. So you need to look at those 2 things. Go to nephrology, find a nephrologist. There's some great medications out there that can at least help you stabilize and make sure that it doesn't go down anymore. The longer you can stabilize, the better. And at that point, with the level of getting to where you're at, you could even be put on the transplant list. And at that point, you can steadily go without maybe getting dialysis. I don't know I don't think you've started dialysis at this point. Hopefully you haven't. But at that point, you can savor that time of not going on dialysis. That's really the best you can do. The one thing I could say is when you did have the EGFR done, was the abundant creatinine high? And usually those are 2 things that are high too as well with this, if this is low. The other thing would be is, were you fully hydrated when you went in and did this blood test? There's other things that could affect the kidney acute wise, and that means short term would be 1, if you went and worked out really, really hard. If you went and worked out really, really hard and you went in that day, maybe even the next day early, this could affect the EGFR and knock it down a little bit.
So that much?
Not that much.
Okay. So
But let's say
I'm assuming-
maybe she's a 50.
I'm
She was
assuming though,
dehydrated that day, went and worked out and trained hard that day. Those numbers could be affected. Like,
what does your
I've seen-
doctor have you doing right now? I'm curious.
I've
Because
seen,
I'm
yeah, I've
assuming
seen,
that she has it, right?
I've seen 20-point jumps, 30-point jumps, even in my blood work. One time, I'm 89 and 63. It really like I said, it really depends on what's going on at that point in time. But it's something you need to look at for sure. Like, liver functions, they get in triple digits, no problem. I get through a glutathione in that bad boy, guaranteed to go down, no problem. unless you had like hepatitis C or something like that, it would directly affect it. But otherwise, that's good. The kidneys are a little bit harder, man. They really are. And for me, this is like a personal thing for me because of my dad. And I've tried to look at every option on the table of what would really help. The only thing that they say could possibly help would be BPC 157 or pentodecaarginate, but I'm not even going to say, yeah, that's a guarantee, right? But I would definitely retest and make sure, one, you were hydrated properly, two, you didn't work out the day before or even that day. And at that point, retest and see what those levels are at. Advice on supplements for gut health and digestive enzymes. We talked about this before, Mike. I mean,
Let 'em know,
I've never used it. I've never used gut health is important, but I've never used anything for gut health, or I've never had any digestive enzymes help me digest food. And you know, everybody's different, and some people might need something like this. But for me, like I eat a ton of steak. I mean, I eat a ton of steak. Some people say they have poor digestive systems that can't digest that. I can. So I don't know. I've never came across anything that I couldn't digest. But I mean, obviously, listen, I think if you need it, then you need it. But I don't know. I mean, I can't get behind it. I've never needed it myself. So I don't know if it's a real good thing, I guess.
See if you can find a picture as well. That'd be great. Okay, we got one here.
I think he was referring to the new peptide that you showed us, John, in the beginning. One of the mystery peptides that you unlocked.
The Sloop 332.
That's his assumption, and so this guy's just saying that you don't need anything if you're just in a deficit of 500 calories. And I think this is amazing. I think for me this is amazing that he's figured out the trick that no human will ever have any kind of cravings. This is awesome.
Yeah.
That's impressive. So
500 calories. I wouldn't recommend 500 calories to anybody. And honestly, the 500 calorie thing came from the ACG diet. And the ACG diet was a written thing and was like proven to some extent. You can legally say that with the 500 calorie diet with ACG. Would I ever recommend that to somebody? Absolutely not. I don't think anybody could survive on 500 calories.
he's talking deficit.
Oh,
So just if the guy's eating 4,000, now he's down to 35, and that's a deficit.
Gotcha.
He says, what I'm still staying on the sarcastic part that I said with the beginning, that this man figured out that nobody gets craving. That's awesome.
Gotcha.
That's impressive. I have no understanding on that comment itself, sir. Just so you know, everybody's different. I get cravings when I'm off season, and
everybody gets cravings.
1,000 calories. It's like, yeah. The point is, it's awesome, man. But I guarantee.
And yeah, cravings are not easy, but they're easier for, I guess, you, Mike, who you live this lifestyle, but you're just a small percentage. And I'm sure a lot of the people that go to Titan Medical aren't in that same,
Well,
They don't have the self-discipline.
Yeah.
this guy doesn't even have a picture of himself up.
I mean,
So it's like you're not in the trenches. You're not in this. The point he's making, there might be 1,000 people that will make the same point. It's like you're making a statement for this blank statement on everybody doesn't get cravings. Sorry, everybody does, and everybody's different.
absolutely.
And it's like, so John's got some great insight and some great things that are there that can help you with those cravings.
Sure.
I'm not that guy. I can be in a deficit, or I can be off season and 1,000 calories, and I got a craving that I don't want to eat my chicken today. I want to eat something else. It's like,
Right.
yeah, I wish life would work that way, my friend. It doesn't.
I'd like to take pre-workout, but my workouts take place in the evening. I'm sure caffeine that late would affect my sleep. Any recommendations?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to
Yeah.
work out in the evenings, listen, before Titan, like when I worked, the 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, whatever you want to call it, I worked out in the evenings, right? That was the only time I could really get in. I wasn't really like getting up in the morning like I am now. I'm going to train. But at this point, like what I would do is I would do it like mid-afternoon. I would take like your stimulant or whatever it is, pre-workout or ECA Stack Plus from Titan Medical Center. And at that point, be able to take it, if you're getting off at 5, you'll be at the gym by 6, maybe take it at like 3, and then you'll still have the effect of the stimulant in you, but it won't be at the highest level, right? So when you get home, you can relax a little bit and go to sleep instead of being stimulated at home because you took the pre-workout 30 minutes before you got to the gym and you're live wire, ready to go still, That's my recommendation for sure. I mean, as far as that goes, and I'll take pre-workouts. I take the ECA stack with Hercules Potion, and I could take, I take one in the morning early. Like when I text Mike, it's probably like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And at that point, I'm good the whole day. I don't take any more ECA or any more stimulants.
That
If I
is
wanted
true.
to,
That's a
I
great
could probably
point.
take it like 2 or 3 and be really stimulated and have enough energy to go to the gym in the late evening and then go to sleep. So that's what I would do.
I'm with Johnny. Great job, John. That was out of the park. And just so I understand too, for you guys to understand, I'll do an expo with Johnny, and we start pretty early and we go all day long. But
Hell yeah.
Johnny's fine into the late hours on those days. So again, maybe talk to John, Titan Medical, and do something like that. That way, the whole day's a little bit more level key, and you still get your sleep at night, and you still get a great workout in. Thanks for the question.
Absolutely. Can I use my local lab for blood work that I have been using? Thank you. So, Mark, what we would do is, I don't know if you're using a LabCorp or a Quest, depending on, listen, if you're in New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island, you're going to use Quest through us. If not, we really want to use LabCorp. The reason is because LabCorp gets us the stat results quicker than any other lab, even Quest and stat. If I do a stat through Quest and do a stat, and that means expedited through LabCorp, I'm always going to get it quicker through LabCorp. And that beats out any other piece. Access, anytime. Like I've got contracts with all these guys. I'm telling you. But if you could pick a LabCorp, that's what we would use with you. And if you're in one of those other states, it would be Quest, but you would have to use a LabCorp or a Quest.
So just for anybody, thanks for asking that, Mark. Just for anybody that's not clear on this, you don't need to go right to Titan Medical.
No.
I've never done I live in California. Headquarters of Titan Medical is in Tampa, Florida. I've never done my blood work there. I do my blood work 5 minutes from my house. So just so you understand, if that's not clear, I'll say it again. You do your blood work where you live, and they will get the information because you signed up over there at Titan Medical. So it's real simple. Again, guys, that's the great thing about today's world, that you get to work with them even though you don't live in the same town as them.
I know, it's awesome.
But I do recommend going there, though. It's a great headquarters. But that being said,
I love when people come down. They don't expect to see what they see. And I'm like, please come on down. An
office of 30 hot women in Tampa, Florida. Yeah. Oh, I mean, yes. Everything else, I get that. But yes, it's a great office, John.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Take great pride in that.
One training question for Johnny before we let him go. You pick, John. You got something, Jeffrey?
Training question?
A training question for you, sir.
Mike, how many days a week do you do side laterals for delts, and what's your favorite muscle to train? And John, what's your favorite body part to train?
It's a great one. Great question.
Yeah.
Side laterals once a week. If I do them for the shoulder workout.
Say that. Explain that, because as you said that, you don't always.
I don't always do side laterals
in a shoulder workout.
In a shoulder workout,
A lot of people's shoulder workout
is either start and or middle. Side laterals is a great exercise, and we usually always do it during shoulders if we do it during the workout. So, like Jeffrey was saying, sometimes we just do shoulder press, upright rows, rear delts, some shrugs, and that is my shoulder workout.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Johnny,
delts one time a week for me. Favorite muscle to train? Chest. I like training chest. Biceps and triceps aren't bad either. I like to train chest. I think that's a lot of people's favorite. I don't know. The only reason I think that's my favorite now is because I've gotten into it I think that was my lagging body part before. like years ago. So I got into it and just
Hold
got
on,
into
hold
it.
on. Whoa. Your chest?
Yeah. I
Kid.
mean, I don't
You
know.
got
I had to like
rock
work it out like
chest.
2 times a
You
week.
look like Fred Flintstone. You got this chest. Boja. Your chest is on time for every meeting. Your body's like 5 minutes late.
I know.
This guy's got a great chest, everybody. Just I don't know
I
what
mean,
he's talking
just
about.
everything. I mean, so I like working chest out. I like biceps, triceps too. Just I like training all together. I mean, full body. I like getting it in. I mean, there's not one thing I say. Oh, well, I mean, legs. Listen, after leg day, I don't feel too good. So the next day or so, it's not the best for me. That's probably the worst for me. But otherwise, I like training, even legs. Abs used to be my thing when I was younger. When I was younger, it was abs. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a 6-pack. I don't care, and I'm just gonna train the shit out of abs. And that's what I did, man. I trained the shit out of abs. I think my abs were better back when I was younger than they are now. But I was a lot leaner then. I didn't have as much weight. And at that point, I don't know. I knew. Listen, I knew there wasn't a lot of people with 6-packs, and it's even less now. So at that point, I'm like, well, at least if I'm over 200 pounds and I got a 6-pack, I can go somewhere. Even if I didn't have any money, that was one thing I always thought. I was like, you know what? If I don't have any money, right? At least if I got my body, I can use my body to make some money. Like maybe I don't know,
Where's this going?
I don't know, and I'm not talking about in a sexual way, but I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay, all right. I didn't know if this is
So-
Magazine Dreams Part 2. I didn't know if that's what was going here. Johnny was thinking about OnlyFans before OnlyFans. So it's like we should have done that, man. I got no money, but I got my ass.
God!
I'm ready. This is the guy I'm hanging
man.
with, everybody. This is my boy right here. Now you understand it. Johnny, thanks for hanging out.
I always thought, listen, I was like, you can always use it. Like I could be at that point, you could be a security bouncer because you're jacked. I mean, you can do a lot of different things, right? So I was like, all right, at least I'll have my body. So that was one thing. I was like, all right, let me just keep working on the body, even keep working on the abs. And it's just changed. Then now it's changed. Now it's like I want functionality. I want to be able to lift my shoulders, without hurting. I want to be able to pose, do some of these different things that I could do. I took for granted now. So, that's the goal.
Look at this. We got beeps and bombs. All right. Johnny, thanks for hanging out, my man.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate it.
For everybody out there that's on today, I think you should
Special.
You should not miss the special.
Yes.
Okay. Remember, blood work, discount, big time. Ladies, let's get it.
Boom. Let's go.
Dang. Look at these guys. Thanks, Johnny.
I appreciate you guys. Later.
Bye, buddy. Thanks for hanging, everybody. Remember, 500 deficit. You got no cravings.
Fucking genius.
Are we off?
Nah.
No.
We're still on live?
We might hit one more.
You want to hit one more
You
question?
got one more for
Yeah,
me?
there's a couple power bodybuilding questions
Yeah.
earlier. Where'd they go?
I'll just throw this back up.
Yeah, you just hit whatever. Yeah, there you go.
At any point you feel like saying something like this, just step outside of yourself.
Yeah.
There's a great quote from Einstein or something. It's like, if you can't, it's the question outside of yourself, not the, this reminds me of Magazine Dreams.
Mhm.
Nothing will get my way. This is how it is. It's like, oh, whoa, easy, Captain. Just a little extreme. And if anybody out there is reading this and think that you shouldn't have cravings, just cravings, not even a deficit, just cravings while you're on a meal plan.
Yeah.
Then you realize why only 1% is healthy and in shape all year long, is because that 1%, it's not that they don't have cravings, it's they can set them aside, where the 99% have cravings and fall prey to it. It's not easy. It's not easy. Except for Evan. For Evan, it was easy.
Very easy. Fucking,
Yeah, he's a
godsend.
yeah. He's the one. He's the chosen one, the golden child.
Could you talk about if it's okay for a natural lifter to work out 4 days in a row? Can it have an impact on the muscle recovery process from the preceding workouts? 4 in a row. Is that
yeah.
too many?
Again, natural has nothing to do with it. It's just anybody. I don't know most guys that do drugs train 4 days in a row. So then you get the thin jogger that trains 7 days in a row. So here's a tip just for anybody that's out there trying to figure out how many days to train in a row. You'll know because of the progress that you're making. Okay, so complete understanding of you and your body. You already know within 2 weeks, is my program working? Is it not working? It's not 4 days. You already know the fact of how much you need to take and how much rest you need to take. So just keep that in mind. I appreciate your question, but again, you already fully understand. You already know by day 2. It's like Johnny said, after leg day, he's already trashed and destroyed. So Johnny can get through 1 leg day and needs a day off. Where I did legs and I needed 3 days off. But then the week before we did back, shoulders, chest, calves, abs, neck, hairline. So it's like, yeah, and hairline. So understand that you're discovering as you're training where you need to take the days off.
If I could only do one or the other, what would it be? The Titan meal plan or the Titan training?
I would do power bodybuilding.
Or Titan medical.
Then I would do Titan medical. The diet's going to be a consistent thing monthly. It's not expensive. That's the main thing. I made it so college kids, high school kids can do the diet. But you need to know if your body's functioning correctly. That's first and foremost. So I would get that blood work done for Titan Medical.
Free weights are machines.
Yes, definitely. Both.
Was there a period in your life when you didn't have a six-pack and you couldn't see it?
No. Mm-mm. When you're off season, you want that somewhat visual. But yeah, no. I've been in shape my whole life. I've trained my whole life, so.
This would have been a good one for John. We were here earlier. How important is donating blood for men's health? Any other things related to healthy? Come back with that.
That's a great one. But again, donating too much blood is an issue as well. So you got to just make sure that you're doing blood work. Then you'll know, and then they'll also tell you, hey, you should take some blood out. But yeah, that's an interesting one too, because I think people think, hey, just donate and donate. Then they're short on iron and yeah. Good question. Good question.
Why, when I water fast, then eat again, I gain everything back?
I have no idea how your brain's functioning. I'm lost on that one. What did you think was going to happen?
That's permanent.
That you stop eating and then your body will just stay with whatever.
That's it. You lost the
3
weight.
pounds because you're not having the food.
Yeah, you lost the weight. So why is the weight coming back? It shouldn't. I lost it. It's gone. It's done. I lost 10 pounds overnight.
I think and anybody can help me out on this one because this one I just don't understand. I think you're assuming by doing a fast, you're just going to stay at this new body weight because you didn't. And again, the new body weight is because you're not eating food, because you're not retaining as much water, because the water's not attaching to the food in your body, and you're digesting and giving everything up. So, yeah, I think what you're assuming is that because you're doing fasting, you're cutting fat, right? Because you're not going to eat, you're going to get rid of fat. You possibly will lose definitely some fat, hopefully, possibly some muscle as well, because you're not feeding the body. Energy is going to go down, so maybe you're not moving as much, so you're not burning as many calories. So there's a flip-flop there. But at the same time, those other days, you should still probably, if the goal is you're trying to tighten up, you should be in a deficit. But then all correlates with process of weeks, right? You want, 6 weeks of doing this. So, each week you're either lowering the calories or doing more exercise to move forward. And then your goal wouldn't be just the one fast. It would be, hopefully I'm better and 5 pounds lighter in 6 weeks, or 10 pounds lighter. That would be the goal. It wouldn't be just a day of fasting.
I thought you'd like that one.
I'm assuming they didn't mean it the way they wrote it. And
Best bicep workout.
straight bar curls, dumbbell curls, followed by concentration or a preacher.
Ooh. Shake it all around.
There's your new YouTube short.
There it is.
Boom.
Done.
3 sets each, 8 reps. Boom.
Mike, is there a particular exercise to give the lower pecs a more leaner, squared off aesthetic instead of rounded? Or is that just genetics and diet?
Well, your genetic shape is what it is. And then diet, again, is going to give you that separation. But just that squared out look, I would just diet for 8 weeks. Continue to train the chest the best you can. Lower chest for guys is so easy, right? We're all developed. We're men, so we already have a lower chest. But just, I would do this too, though. I would try to even out the upper chest with the lower chest. It will give it a better look when you do get sliced relative to just the line at the bottom. To have the line all the way around the chest, that's a beastie chest. Looks amazing.
Gonna see Magazine Dreams this weekend.
Hit me back next week. Tell me how you liked it. I had a couple people come up to me in the gym today talking about that. An actress came up.
Nice. Buongiorno, Mike.
Buongiorno. I was so surprised about this weekend and the questions I was asked. I was in Mexico this weekend, giving a lecture on certification. I was the lecturer for the certification on training. And so I was teaching them how to be a proper trainer and work with these people. But some of the questions I was asked, and it kept coming back to this, is a lot of the guys and some of the girls wanted to start a cycle.
Of course it is.
All ages,
Right.
from 23 to 40s. My question to all of them was, well, how much commitment have you got on the other side right now? Have you ever done a show? Have you ever sliced up? Is the diet on point? Not one of them. Not one that asked, this is what I want to do. Not one of them has committed a good 12 weeks to proper nutrition and training, which shocked me. I would assume that you would do the one aspect and at least see where your potential is, or if this is something for you before you do that. Or you did blood work and there's something wrong on the blood work, and that's why you need to do the TRT or something. Make sure to do that. Make sure to give the one side everything you got before you jump on the other side. This is my recommendation.
I just turned 28. I went from 160 to 205 in a year with mass building, protein, and working out. Is that healthy? People say I got big too fast.
Yeah. So do you have a shortage of breath? Obviously, the body fat comes into play. You're 28. Good job. Good job. It was a calorie surplus. I would also need to see where your body fat went from and where it is to today. 45 pounds in a year at 28 is a lot of weight. Did your body put it on healthy? That comes down to if you put on a large portion of that is muscle. You know, if that's 50-50, ooh, that's great. Good job. But yeah, you just get your body fat checked.
I feel like a lot of creatine questions lately. Since we did that one on creatine, I feel like more questions coming up about it. How many grams of creatine daily? Package suggests 5 daily, but I've read 0.3 grams per kilogram of body weight. I'm taking 15 grams daily.
Nice. That's what I do. I take 15.
15.
Yeah, I like 15. 15 is a good number. I do 5 before lifting, 5 after, and 5 at bedtime. But you'll also see the energy, how you feel during the workouts and your recovery. It does a lot of great things, creatine does.
Mike, thanks for suggesting duck eggs for protein, but I kind of don't feel good eating eggs. Can you suggest something better than eggs?
Yeah, steak.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's different. You know, steak is great. There's nothing beats egg. So
Do you feel good, like, stomach-wise, or you don't feel good ethically? The eggs. I track my body fat by how my abs look. Is this okay, or should I get a more scientific method?
if that works for you. Yeah, if that works for you, I'm fine with that.
For your non-dominant arm, do you add an extra set if the size isn't similar to the dominant arm?
No, I just do a visual. I'll keep a look at it, and then we like the Hercules potion as well. But yeah, I focus more on that side. Give it a look when you're training. Focus on that one side.
Would you get lean before you start bulking? Is it better to bulk between 10 to 12% body fat or 15 to 20%?
Yeah, that one's up to you, my friend. I always believe that you should see what it looks like before you go. Yeah, so I'd cut up, take a look at what you're looking at. You know, 12 weeks. You're gonna bulk for a year. Remember that. So you got 12 weeks, cut up, get your body fat down low, and then put that size on. But again, it's if this, you can let me know what your reason for this, but usually if you're an artist, and I consider bodybuilding an art, you're working on your craft and you're trying to create this Michelangelo physique kind of thing. Usually, and I'm fine with it, and I think you should, usually the shot that will be on your profile for social media will be a image of that. You know, it's like, here's the work I've done. This is who I am. Also, social media should be a face. You know, I'm not a Looney Tune or something like that on there. So I'm just concerned personally, Ozzy, that you don't have something like that there. So I'm just wondering if the percentage of body fat is a little higher. So I would say cut. Am I wrong on that?
No.
Where do you go with that?
Like regarding like the profile pictures and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the fucking internet.
Is that what that is nowadays? They just put whatever?
Yeah.
I want to be able to talk smack, so I'll put Daffy Duck up there.
Exactly.
I gotcha. All right.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do about
Yeah, I don't.
that?
Let me know, guys.
What do you eat after a workout?
Whatever the meal plan has for me.
What does it have for you right
So right now it is 13 ounces. 13. Yeah. Odd number. 13 ounces of tuna and 25 grams of cream of rice.
Search what you want.
Yeah,
Don't question it.
I don't.
Just do
That's
it.
what's on the meal plan. That's what I eat. And you
Yeah.
know what?
Well,
25 grams after a workout like I have isn't enough to
yeah, I was
recover.
gonna say, no way.
You know that?
No.
But why do I still do it?
Did you eat it?
Because that's the plan I'm doing to be sliced. And so it's more important about the calorie intake and when I have those carbohydrates relative to just recovering.
What is the universe question? I can't find it, but oh, here it is. Did you lose any muscle when you cut down for your universe win?
Yes, I always lost muscle. Everybody does. I don't know if that's a common thing that's said, but everybody does. Everybody loses muscle when they cut up for a show. The trick to lose the least amount, to retain as much as you possibly can. And that was the one thing that I said for years that Hani now copies that statement, is that retain as much strength as you possibly can will help you keep. And this is what me and Stan Effernan talked about. And I love that about my brother Stan, is that the reason we lifted heavy into shows is we didn't lift heavy. We just lifted as much as we normally did and tried to retain the muscle. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to retain. Great question. But everybody lost muscle.
Now, when you say you try to lift as much as you did, do you mean the volume, or just you at least trying to touch the weight?
Just touch the weight that I lifted.
Just at least
Yeah.
touch it.
So example, a 405 for 10 on incline. Okay. As I was dieting down closer and closer to the show, that number went from 10 to even at times 1.
It's fine.
And that was great for me.
But 405 didn't change.
But the 405 number was the same.
And it could have been 270.
Oh, it was more important to go 10 reps. Well,
Yeah.
not to me, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is clear now that this is the right way to do it, is that it was more important that I still hit that number,
Right.
moving the weight, and just a rep or two, relative to the guy that goes, well, just if you're doing 10 with 405, just go down to 225 for 10. Look at the physique change.
Yeah.
It was the reason I won the universe all 4 times, is because I was smart enough at that point in my 20s to know that it was about me retaining the strength while in a deficit, not the rep range.
Mhm. Yeah, you go from 50 carbs to 500. Those reps are coming right back. They're coming back. Thoughts on creatine for a 51-year-old?
Start.
Started.
Thank you. Great question.
Are deload weeks necessary? If yes, how often?
Yeah, you would always do a deload week after the 12 weeks of training on power. But that's only on a power bodybuilding or a strength gains program. It wouldn't be on a bodybuilding program.
Is fasting a tool you use?
I will use that for a period, a couple weeks prior to being the most pinnacle in shape I am. Will not do it any other time. Does nothing for me or my clients that I work with. And that's why I think one of the things is there's so much noise about, well, you should do it for your kidneys and liver. Your kidneys and liver,
What's wrong with it?
yeah, it's like, what is wrong with you? That's what their function is to clean out. They're already doing their job.
They're doing it.
But now the noise of this stuff is so big, it overrides just the basic doctors saying, well, your kidneys and livers are consistently cleaning themselves out. That's what their job is. They don't need help from you.
Mike, would you ever squat and deadlift in the same workout? And if so, would you alternate heavy and light weekly?
It's how we started back in the 80s. Yeah, you would do a heavy squat on Tuesday and then a light deadlift. And it worked for me as a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid. I stopped 19, 20. I stopped doing that.
I always do all of my sets to failure? So good.
All my sets. God dang, you're
All
a
of them, bro.
beast.
Every
Then what
set.
would work? Let me ask a question to your question. Then is it about you being completely beat down and doing the routine? Because I thought weightlifting was about stimulating and just enough to get a little better.
No, because the more you stimulate, the better you'll get.
So you can triple stimulate your body. You can't
No,
you
why
can't
would
just stimulate your body one time.
No, why would you triple stimulate it when you can 10x?
Whoa.
stimulate it? That's what I'm trying to do here.
I stand corrected. Go 10x that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on. Come here. Mommy.
Hold on a second, there we go.
Chop, chop, buddy.
Just hold them 30 seconds.
Oh, I was going to do a sign out by him.
Yeah, but it's kind of bad.
No, buddy, you don't need to do each set to failure.
What?
Yeah, you don't have to.
So should start doing my cursing and
You sit here.
In the bag.
okay.
Mommy's gonna put on the oven so we can get off the food. Okay?
Oh.
And
You pop-
give me my
are you-
sweatshirt
Are you
because-
popping the top? You wear mom's sweatshirt.
Yeah.
What's Minecraft?
Give me
Minecraft
my
is what?
It's a video game.
It's a video
And
game.
they're making a movie.
Okay,
coming out
hold
soon.
on.
Oh, and Bove.
A Move.
With
Hello, Titan. Hello, Governor.
Oh, Tossins.
Hey, Mona, can I get 5 pounds of chicken, please?
Oh, is this Wally?
Hello. Say hello to Wally over here. Hello, Wally.
No. His name over here.
Oh, what's his name?
Flordan.
Flordan?
Yeah.
Is it Flordan?
Yes, Flordan.
My kid can read better than I can.
Let's talk to Flordan.
You don't want to talk to him because you don't train to failure. Only if you're an MMA fighter. Give me another one, Jeffrey. What is? Give one to Titan.
See one for Titan.
That's
Titan, what do you prefer, beef or chicken?
What do you like for muscle growth?
chicken poking in
Chicken?
chicken poking in the nose.
What'd you just say?
Chicken poking in the nose.
Chicken poking you in the nose?
No, chicken poking in the nose.
Chicken poking in the nose. They
Yeah.
go like this.
Yeah.
The chicken go like this in the ground.
Oh, they poking. Okay.
It's a-
All right, you're just making stuff up. All right.
You out of here?
I gotta go eat. I would go beef. I wouldn't do lean beef. I'm assuming that you're off season. I would do 15, 20%.
Last
Right.
question.
Yeah.
Is this live or a replay?
Oh, this is definitely a replay.
Go. 1, 2,
oh.
3, go.
Camera's here.
Okay, go.
Oh,
There.
he's gonna outpose me.
There. Go.
Hit that shit.
He wants to do something.
Oh, let me get rid of this. Whoa,
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 whoa.
whoa, whoa.
Oh my gosh! You see that?
Frank
Oh.
Someone is trend up.
Oh man.
Wait, show it again. Do it one more time. I like his.
Minus 999 pounds.
Okay, but
Okay, no,
one more
999,
time.
it's
Look at the
999.
flex.
Okay,
Look
do
at the
it
flex.
again. Flex hard.
Do that as hard as you can.
Slow and hard. Oh my gosh. Come on, Titan. Look at
Like mommy? Go like mommy.
Mommy. One more time.
One more time.
Oh,
Wow.
muscle star won 1,000 pounds.
1,000 pounds. Let's see yours.
So yours are 10 pounds.
Yours is 10 pounds, mine 10,000 pounds. And yours?
999.
Let's see. Show Jeff.
I like his commitment. Wow.
Cranked in there.
So
Awesome.
grab this and post this later.
Yeah.
I told you guys this years ago. I said that I will have him train after he understands how to pose each muscle. And just for you parents, the reason you have him first understand how to pose the hamstring, how to contract the back, to flex the shoulders, is then he can do weightlifting and understand how the weights should move relative to, you know, how high he had to learn is just going through the motions and stuff. He's going to save so much time and make leaps and bounds relative to what I did because of the fact that he understands it's got to be it's not that you do it, it's how you do it. It's not that you do the bicep curl, it's how you do the bicep curl. I can do it slow, I can do it fast. Arnold, go watch Arnold do it. He can move through it fast, but he's still connected. Now you go to any gym today, when you go to the gym, look at people doing curls and seeing if there's, and you can visually see if there's connection. And that's why I'll make sure that he knows how to pose his body. And so I love seeing that his flex to the bicep. He understands how to do that. Teach your kids how to pose. Or if you are anybody, any age, and you go to the gym, it's silly. I get it. You don't need to get in a bikini or what do the guys do, the girls do, bikini shorts. You don't got to do that. But learn to pose your body. It is a huge benefit. Learn to bounce your chest. Then when you're doing your workout, you'll understand what really is pushing it. It's not your arms as much as your chest is playing in that huge part. And a lot of guys ask me, how do you get a better chest? Connect to it. And then the diet, it's going to help. That's it. We're out of here. Have a great day. Go pump it up. Titan Crew will be back. Check-ins. Let's go.